At Homestead Miami Speedway, Kyle Larson's victory moves him up the Hendrick Motorsports all-time wins list. Larson's placement in NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers was criticized by many as being too soon. We are constantly reminded by Young Money that it wasn't. Some drivers, however, fled the track in rage. Thus, there was some disagreement and a brawl. For this point, Kyle Larson has won 24 races for Hendrick Motorsports. He has won 30 Cup Series races overall. Over the past 41 years, only Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson have won more races with Rick Hendrick. Larson would be the driver to beat, as everyone knew. He did not, however, dominate. The most laps were led by Ryan Blaney. Leading the second most was Bubba Wallace. On the last lap, though, the number 5 vehicle took the lead. There was only going to be one Hendrick driver left in this race. Lately, Kyle Larson had to contend with Alex Bowman. Both of them gave outstanding performances during the race, showcasing a lot of Hendrick's strength and quickness. However, they advanced because of the way they ran the wall. In the 2025 NASCAR Cup season for drivers with last names that start with B, Alex Bowman finished one spot shy of winning at Homestead Miami Speedway. With 33 laps left, Bubba Wallace went tight at the end of Turn 2, and Alex Bowman passed him to take the lead. Wallace could not halt the surge as they drag raced down the backstretch. However, Kyle Larson made a last-ditch effort against his Hendrick Motorsports teammate, meaning the battle for victory was far from over. With just 6 laps left, Bowman made a crucial error by colliding with the outside wall as Larson closed up on the pole sitter. Bowman had tried to move higher to match Larson's line. Larson took advantage of the situation, took the initiative, and sailed away. The vehicle had scrapes along the right front and rear fenders, among other combat wounds from numerous close encounters with the outer wall. Additionally, the left side door was dented following a collision with Josh Berry on pit lane, and there was a hole in it. Larson remarked, "It was far from perfect. I lost a space and a half, almost 2 spots there because I entered the wall too frequently. There, I knew I wouldn't get the ideal restart. I was aware that I wasn't very good at short runs, but I reasoned that if I could keep the 11 Hamlin and the 45 Reddick behind me, I might be able to get in the top and the 19 Briscoe as well. I then allowed him to pass by getting into the wall. I simply have to keep working at what I know and what is beneficial to me. I'm just proud of the team and myself. There was a lot of physical labor involved today, including pit road damage, poor qualifying, poor restarts, and other issues. I'm just so excited. It feels great to keep my head down and keep digging after the heartbreak I experienced here and yesterday, which makes this one of the coolest victories I believe I've had in my Cup career." Christopher Bell's spin and Ryan Blaney's engine explosion after leading the most laps were the only 2 cautions for cause in the otherwise clean race. Wallace finished 3rd and earned a bonus point for the fastest lap, while Bowman finished 2nd, 1.2 seconds behind the leader. In an attempt to emulate Tyler Reddick, who won this race from the front row the year before, Alex Bowman started Sunday's race in pole position. Over the course of the day, Bowman earned stage points and led 43 laps. With just over 50 laps left, Bowman was in 4th place on the last restart, but he quickly moved 3 wide to take the lead. He caught him inside 20 laps and had the lead in the race, but Bubba Wallace managed to get away and speed off. Unfortunately for him, his colleague Kyle Larson was running straight against the outer wall while doing an extraordinarily high line work. With 6 circuits left, Bowman tried to catch up as his advantage dwindled, but the wall caught him and caused him to slow down at the exit of Turn 4. As a result, Larson drove by without turning around, making his job easier. Bowman said, "I guess I choked that one away," following the race. "I moved around a little when I saw the 5 Larson approaching. I slammed it hard with my right front the time before he overtook me, but I only managed to bend it enough to lose a lot of right front feel. I then pulled it off the wall too far and struck the fence really severely. For this Ally 48 bunch, I detest that. That is not fair to them. There are only a few errors there. We seemed okay to me throughout the day. We were at our peak on that last run. For Mr. Hendrick, I'm sorry. Well done, Kyle. This week, we will attempt to obtain another one." In addition to being his first top 5 result at Homestead, Bowman's 2nd place finish on Sunday was his best since he won at the Chicago Street Course last summer. After Hendrick teammates Larson and William Byron, who leads the point standings, he finishes the race in 3rd place in the championship standings. As previously stated, Bubba Wallace trailed race winner Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman after finishing 3rd in Sunday's Straight Talk Wireless 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. Wallace ran his strongest race of the 2025 season, but he lost his chance to win for the first time since September 2022. That's great news for Wallace, who needed a good run badly. "It was excellent," Wallace remarked. "We had speed when we arrived in Miami. You should check that box first. As race car drivers, we all know that you want to be visible and competitive, and we were. We started the race just fine, which led me to believe that we were merely average and that our balance was comparable to what we've had for the previous 2 years. I simply prayed for a track position. Just now, my pit crew caught fire. This crew has put in a tremendous lot of work over the past 5 years to reach this point. We're competitive at every turn, even if we're not where we want to be. Our Columbia Toyota Camry was a game changer when they got us up there and gave me a chance." Wallace moved quite quickly. He finished second only to Ryan Blaney, 124, leading a season-high 56 laps. After some early setbacks against Austin Cindric and Joey Logano, he was vying for the title by stage 3. On lap 213, Wallace came out of pit road first, and he took the lead after passing Kyle Larson on the next restart. But Bowman overtook Wallace on lap 235. This was a great day for a driver who had 420 the place or worse finishes before the race, but the 23 Ketwin Racing driver never recovered to contend. Wallace remarked, "I got our front and I don't think I burned my stuff up. I don't know, but when I started that last run, I thought it was pretty similar to the last restart. I must return and examine what transpired. Of course, don't hit the fence and let the 48 Bowman arrive. Overall, though, I'd want to commend my 23 group here. This year has been a slog. We have been thrashed in the final stages of every race, but we have finally won one. This is pleasant. I'm as mad at myself as I want to be, but it's a good day." The top 3 drivers performed very cleanly, although Blaney's explosive exit from the race following a contentious situation in the pits could have resulted in another B driver. Ryan Blaney encountered a problem as the Cup Series competitors completed pit stops following the conclusion of Stage 2. Blaney had to swerve to the right to avoid hitting the number 9 after Chase Elliott emerged from his stall. The 2 drivers made an effort to avoid impact. Blaney had the worst of it. Blaney, who was always known for his fiery personality on the radio, was fired up again. "I get absolutely destroyed by the 9, he stated over the radio. When Blaney returned to the track, Crandall noticed that he drove up alongside Elliott. He either mentioned anything or told him he was number 1. I am sure the 2 will speak later, probably after they've left Miami. Elliott received a penalty, but not for the Blaney incident. He was punished for not entering pit road in single file. That cost him a lot of spots. Jeff Gluck of The Athletic tweeted some of Chase's radio. "There was no advantage there. I was simply not aiming to hit the guy. I don't know what to do any different." A collision with Ryan Blaney, followed by a penalty for entering pit road incorrectly. When it was all over, Chase Elliott had a tough break to start the last stage. And for Blaney, things ended soon after blowing up his engine. So, what are your thoughts on the race? Was it a pleasant and clean one without NASCAR's meddling for once? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below.